everybody, welcome back to another episode, welcome back to another reaction with Ender the Gamer himself. Today we are reacting to Indiana Jones Tribute, where they take all the Indiana Jones clips and they mash them together with the theme, so let's get into it in 3, 2, 1. Oh, and I also want to say, guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe, because that lets me, because when you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and tell your friends. That means that you guys want to see my content, so let's get into it.
Indiana Jones.
This part's from Raiders of the Lost Ark, when Indiana Jones goes back to Marion Ravenwood, and she hates him because of what he did to her in their past.
Always knew someday you'd come walking back through my door.
My name is Indiana Jones.
Dr. Jones, the eminent archaeologist.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
Mr. Jones, I've heard a lot about you, sir. Your appearance is exactly the way I imagined.
Junior?
Don't call me Junior.
Does it always mean it's Junior?
That's his
name.
Henry
Jones Jr. Like Indiana. We named the dog Indiana.
You are named after the dog.
One of my favorite movies of all time is Last Crusade, guys. If I haven't already said that, I'm sorry. But if I have, I'm even more sorry. It's just, Last Crusade is funny because it has humor, it has emotion, it has stakes. Like, Indiana Jones is trying to survive all this stuff from the Nazis, and then his father gets shot at the end of the movie, and he's like, if I don't do these 3 challenges, my father's going to die. And then the 3rd challenge, he's like, if I don't believe, I'll fall down to my death. And Henry's like, you gotta believe, boy. And then he's like, what do I gotta lose? So then, and then Donovan gets killed by the very thing he sought, or Elsa.
People trying to kill him. I know, Dad!
Your experience for me.
Happens to me all the time.
Me all the time.
One of my favorite scenes from Raiders of the Lost Ark is when he is... See, this is one of the emotes they should do if they ever make an Indiana Jones bundle. This is an emote they should make. Like, they should, make an emo of him shooting the swordsman, and then maybe the swordsman falling over as another player. I love... Dun, dun, dun. You probably guys can't hear it. So. Raiders of the Lost Ark. How this all began with George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. Temple of Doom. Where they're looking at the man sacrificing. Last Crusade, when they're leaving the temple. And then Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, when the entire pyramid's collapsing and you got Old Man Jones. I just really hope that the 5th movie is about, now I've heard some rumors that it's there's probably going to be a flashback of Indy when he's maybe he might get involved in in the World War II somehow. I don't know, but there have been leaks and rumors of him a flashback, or definitely not time travel. We know that, but from what I can guess, maybe the story picks up after Last Crusade in a flashback of him. Maybe he's getting something and he gets on he's on a train. He's he's on a motorcycle. He's riding to the train. He jumps on the train. He's defeating a bunch of Nazis, that kind of thing. And maybe eventually the thing ends with Indy like with Indy lecturing in a classroom or something, and then eventually he meets Helena, his goddaughter. They talk, and then like people are after him, yada yada yada. So yeah, I'm excited for next year for this movie because, dude, this movie is gonna be the last movie, the 5th installment of the Indiana Jones franchise, which makes perfect sense because, like the 50s, the 60s, the 40s. So. And then maybe someone can do an edit of all 5 of them, like, so.
Archaeology is the search for fact, not truth. You cannot.
I could, if I had to recap all the Indiana Jones movies from Raiders of the Lost Ark to Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I could do it, guys. Because I could just recap all the movies. I've seen them dozens of times. I'm on my Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, so.
Afford to take mythology at face value. So forget any ideas you got about lost cities, exotic travel, and digging up the world. We do not follow maps to buried treasure, and X never, ever marks the spot.
But
Buried treasure,
in the
and
Last
X
Crusade,
never,
when he
ever
walks up and in his the third where he's lecturing to his kids or the students, he says X never marks the spot. X marks the spot, baby.
marks the spot.
You and I are very much alike. Archaeology.
See, you can kind of see when Belloc is itching Indiana Jones' skin, like if he's getting under his skin. You can tell by the way he looks. He's ready to shoot or strangle the crap out of Belloc for attempting to kill Marion. But, as you know, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, for those of you who haven't seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, Marion is alive. They must have switched baskets.
I
think she was dead.
Much alike. Archaeology is our religion. Yet we have both fallen from the pure faith. It will take only a nudge to make you like me.
Surely you're not afraid, Dr. Jones. You spent your entire
He's eye to eye. He's like, how am I going to pull this off?
life searching for answers.
The Ark. It is something that man was not meant to disturb. Death has always surrounded it. It is not of this earth.
The man I knew 10 years ago.
It's not the years. It's the mileage.
I love that quote from Harrison Ford. That's one of many quotes I love about Harrison Ford.
You know, for an old man, you ain't bad in a fight.
Thanks a lot.
What are you, like 80?
Ask yourself.
He's like, yeah, I'm 80. So what?
Why do you seek the cup of Christ? Is it for his glory or for yours?
They made Indy so demonic in Temple of Doom.
Is it for his glory?
In comparison, it's almost the same scene as as Star Wars, where Anakin in Revenge of the Sith has killed all the people on Mustafar, and he's just looking, and his eyes are just evil, and he's crying. He's like, "What have I done?" And Indy has almost that same exact look, but a little demonic. Like he's got the little symbol. He's got and he's like you can't even tell that's Indy. Like that's the demon version of him, you know?
Or for yours?
You're a teacher?
Something I didn't understand is when Mutt asked him, he said, "A teacher," and then later in the movie when they're at the cemetery, he says, "You're a teacher?"
Part-time.
And he says that, and then this scene is of him punching everyone. Of course, my favorite.
You could get killed chasing after your damn fortune and glory.
Maybe. Not today.
Him of kissing Willie Scott, Elsa Schneider, Marion Ravenwood. Yep. See, I feel like the best relationship is Indy and Marion because they love each other. Of course, with Elsa Schneider, she was just using him to get the grill. Once she figured out he had the grill, she was like, "That's it. I found it." And in this moment where she's smirking, he's like, "Why did you do it? Why did I fall for her? I had to fall for her."
That's Vidania, Dr. Jones.
And he's like that moment, like we all know he probably jumped or something, but he was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna die."
Oh my.
And I love this. I love this moment in Temple of Doom because she's like,
God! Oh
God! No, he's crazy. And he's like,
Jones?
and Marion's like, he's come to save me.
Jones!
We
are going to die!
Man, of all the times he's almost died, he's always come near, like the truck where he almost gets ran over.
No defiant last words,
I think I'd cover my ears if I was.
I think I'd cover my ears if I were you.
Moments that if you like made a collage of all the movies and all the good parts, like the bad, but like the scenes of Indiana Jones being a bad, like kicking butt, yeah, it would just. Yep. So that's gonna do it for me today, guys. So if you like and subscribe, tell your friends, and they will probably subscribe, but who knows. See you in the next video, everybody.